Hey y'all, Catherine Hidalgo, the Dragon Oracle here. I just have to share this on this, on another day of this exquisite full moon. I have already shared with you women and gentle birds that the day of that the, during the full moon, it acts like a fertilizer. So whatever you're feeling, whatever you're experiencing, it's going to feel so much worse. No, if it's negative feelings, you're going to feel worse. But if it's positive, uplifting, you're going to feel it like 10 times or more. In this particular case, I am feeling so stirred up. It's grief. For me, I know it's grief as I recognize finally because I have let go of most things. I'm back in my mother's house as I make preparations for the jump off. But you know what's interesting here? The grief I am feeling as I recognize that there is no saving my sister, birth sister. I have many other sisters, dragon sisters, etc. But there's no saving this birth relative. I do have to let her go. I do have to let them go. And that is the grieving part. So, because I noticed that I have changed so much, and this full moon, well, before it started, I've been noticing things about me that are so very different. Okay, my energy is very different. But even my voice has changed. The way I speak, even the way I walk. When you are doing the work, these are the things that happen. Because as you shed layers, ladies in particular, your vibration begins to rise. Because you don't want excellent, huh? And I agree with Tony Robbins on that. At first, when I heard it, but in 2024, when I attended one of his programs, I agree with it 100%. You don't want excellent. You want outstanding because everybody else is ordinary. And the thing is, as I saunter around town, I am remembering a lot of the different things that I experienced. You know, like sitting outside the library waiting for some NGO to bring food for me because I had no money, nowhere to go, no roof. I was living in somebody's room while they were destroying my things, etc., because I felt helpless. Then I see homeless, smelly people on the street, and I remembered how I lived on the street. Nobody cared, which is why I always pay attention to this. And my first stop, as soon as the money starts flowing in, is to support a lot of these NGOs who feed street people, because I was one. And then I remembered all of the things that I experienced 4 years in that homeless shelter. My God, people have no idea. And yet, not only did I survive, I overcame it. When that man in the shelter came to kill me with that big fucking knife, it must have been 15 inches long, no exaggeration. After living 2 years in terror of his stalking, beating me up and all sorts of stuff because he said he loved me, I faced down that motherfucker. And that's where my real journey started. When I looked at him directly in his eyes, pointed my finger at his chest. We were this close. I stepped to him literally to get this close. And I told him, go ahead and kill me. But make sure I'm dead. Otherwise, I'm going to get you. Staring him straight in the eye. Because you can only be terrified for so long. I was going to say piss terrified. You know when you're, maybe many of you haven't experienced it, when you're so fucking scared that you pee yourself? I was there. And I overcame that too. And so all of these things were passing through my mind this morning. They've been passing through for a few days, but today in particular, I'm feeling the grief welling up as I feel and taste my freedom finally from these family bonds that chained me. Yeah, they are still trying. They are still trying because I'm not supposed to change. Worse, I'm not supposed to be different. But I've always been different. They just never accepted that I would be different with them. I mean, 6 months after my return, after losing my life savings, they kicked me out on the street, right? And then I was told this morning by my kin, dragon kin, the one thing that my sister's husband did just before they kicked me out, before he flew out to Florida, I was told that I had to forget that. Now, I always say you can forgive but never forget, because that makes you a fucking fool, and nobody's a fool. But there are certain things that hurt so bad, that just are so offensive, and what he did was offensive, and literally showed his opinion of me, that I was told I had to forget that particular one. I don't have to forget the others, but this particular incident. It wasn't anything, you know, like rape or anything like that. No, he'd be dead. But it's what he did. And as I remember that, it reminds me of the things that they are still doing, because they have not changed. And unfortunately for them, I've let go on, but that's the grief welling up. So I want to tell you all that the grief is normal. You have to name it. You have to identify what you're feeling. You have to put words to your feelings. And that way you will avoid mostly stuffing it under the carpet. Because you don't want to stuff things under the carpet. Because then you keep living with it, regurgitating the shit, smearing yourself in it, rolling yourself around like a pig in mud. Because what? You don't want to deal with your feelings? All you have to do is admit it to yourself. I've been on this very, very long journey, and I needed to share that today. I'm not going to stay in the grief. I have to let it out because it's right here in my solar plexus. But please, ladies in particular, this is another thing. Now, I am offering a death ritual to let go of all the shit that you need to let go of, to let go of all the garbage that you've already worked on. But the energy, take note of what I said, is in the outer edge of your aura, of your energy field. And it is going to stay with you, and you're going to continue living it until you get rid of it some way. My death ritual for the full moon is today at 7 p.m. Eastern. None of you in this group has signed up. Because what, you feel $20 is too much? My group, to join my group, it's $20. And I cannot allow anyone to enter the group for any reason without paying that $20. I used to give away everything before. But if you women don't believe that you are worth investing $20 in yourself, not me, $20 is not going to make me rich. If you don't believe that investing $20 in yourself to get rid, you hear that? That is a symbol. And you know, worse yet, that was a waste disposal truck. There's no coincidence, no such thing as coincidence. So if you don't want to get rid of your waste and you want to continue to live in it, sit in it, etc., namaste. That's all I gotta say. All right, people, I've shared what I wanted to share under this magnificent tree. It's really quite amazing. So I'm gonna say ciao.